everyone, it's Jen. I have another Fiber Me This episode for you guys today, and I have several things that I've been working on to share with you, as well as some yarn stash that I picked up in New York City, and a couple project bags. So let me get started. My first thing I want to share with you are these socks that I made for February for Valentine's Day, and I'm filming in a different spot. This is a corner of our house where I have my little knitting area. It's just it's kind of like a sitting room, but I use it every day. I know a lot of people don't use their front living rooms or whatever, but this is my spot. This is where I sometimes take my naps. This is where I do a lot of my knitting and have my coffee and my tea and all that. However, I think it might be a little dark in this corner, so I can already tell that the yarn is not coming up accurate at all because there is a lot more pink in here than is showing. But this is this pattern. It has this cute hearts on it. There's 2 on the back and there's 6 down the front. And this pattern is the Love Struck socks on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It is not difficult at all. And I just want to say really quick too, a couple people mentioned about wanting to knit socks who had never knit socks before. And I was one who was really kind of intimidated by it. It is not difficult at all. Once you get through your first pair of socks, you're going to be absolutely fine. And even that first pair, my recommendation is do them worsted weight. I used the rye pattern. I think I've mentioned this before, but go ahead and do it because once you get through your first pair, it's like a breeze after that. So what was I saying? Okay, so this pattern, the Love Struck sock, the only thing that I did different, or a couple things I did different, is I cast it on. You're supposed to cast on 64 and then increase to 66. I cast it on 66 from the very beginning, and it worked out great. I did a 1x1 rib instead of a 2x2, and I did a fish lips kiss heel in a contrast color, and I did my own toe. I didn't even read. I used the toe from the Hermione's Everyday Sock. That's what I've been using. I've only made a few pair of socks, but that's the toe that I've been using just because I really liked the way that my first one came out. So I didn't read the toe pattern for this sock. This is the best fitting pair of socks that I've made to date. And I don't know if it's because it's a couple more stitches than I usually cast on. So I want to try and make just a plain vanilla sock with 66 stitches and see if that works better for me. The yarn, again, it's not showing up accurately. I have pictures on Instagram, which is my Blue Bike 101 if you want to follow me on Instagram. But the yarn is Love Letters by Artistic Lily. And it's beautiful yarn. It knitted up beautifully. And so here is the sock on the sock blocker. This pattern is very easy to follow. It's not really difficult, and I don't know if it's because it's February and everyone here in the Northeast seems to have horrible cabin fever, and my brain hasn't been working quite accurately, but I made so many mistakes on these socks. It was driving me crazy. I just couldn't stay on track with the pattern, but that is me. The pattern's not difficult at all. So I'm very happy with this. I was trying to get them done by Valentine's Day. That didn't happen, but it is still February, so I am happy that I got them done within the month of February. That is the only finished object I have. But as far as whips, I casted on a mini sock, and this is for my sister, and I kind of put it to the side because I wanted to work on those heart socks. I really, really like this. Artistic Lily actually had shown a pair that she cast on, and I really like them. So I love the way that this is coming out, except for I did use heavier yarn for the heel, so I'm not, you know, it made the heel quite a bit bigger, so I'm not sure that I'm crazy about that. I'm also not sure that I want to go back and rip it out. So I think I'll probably finish them and just kind of chalk it up to experience. And then I also have my peppermint socks that have not been worked on at all. I'll show those when they're further along. And I am still forever working on, this is kind of my next priority, the Man Oh Man scarf, which I've been working on for like ever and a day. I am past the halfway point. I don't know why, it's just a really slow knit for me, but I'm going to make that one of my priorities and work on those socks a little bit. But the next thing after that that I am going to cast on, hopefully here in the next couple weeks, is the next shawl I'm going to do. I was going to do the shawl the remembrance shawl I was going to do for my father, but I think I need to get on track with the seasons, so I want to do my summer shawl next. And then after that, I'll probably do the remembrance shawl. So I had dyed this yarn in the fall, and it didn't come out the way that I wanted, but over time I have really fallen in love with it. And it reminds me of the beach so much. It has like a sandy color in there, and it has an oceany color, like a grayish blue in there. It is super soft yarn, and I threw the tag away, so I'm not 100% sure what the content is. I want to say I know it's merino and something, but I think there might be some silk in it. So the shawl that I'm going to do, I have like looked and looked and looked because I had a picture in my head of what I wanted to make. I searched like Ravelry and Pinterest and for a couple different days, and I wanted a shawl that has a lot of eyelet in it, so that it would be kind of airier for the summer. And I found a pattern called Seawall Storm, which is funny because it's kind of like, you know, seawall beachy. But I'm going to insert a picture of it right here. So yes, that's what I want to cast on with this yarn. I am going to do it all one color. So, well, you know, it's going to look quite a bit different than that picture did, but we'll see how that comes out. The next thing I want to talk about is I took a trip to New York City. My daughter Anya was auditioning for the Rockettes Summer Intensive. So I dropped her off and I took subway uptown a little bit to the, I don't know if it's east or west side, to, I guess it would be the upper east side. I could be wrong. Upper west side. I get confused when I'm in New York City. But I know it's uptown, and it's a store called Knitty City. And I spent the whole afternoon there. So her audition was 3 hours, and you know, I dropped her off early, so I had a good 3 hours to myself. The store was amazing. So I know there's a lot of knitting stores in New York City. This is definitely one, hands down, I would go back to. There were tons of people sitting and knitting. This store was just jam-packed, floor to ceiling. I will put in a picture here too of the one wall. And so let me show you what I picked up there. And it's kind of just a random assortment of yarns. The one thing I only went in looking for one thing. I wanted to get one of the Cascade Heritage prints. And this is the Begonia, I believe. Yes. And so when you knit your socks, it knits up into a pattern, and I don't know if the camera will focus on this, but that right there is an idea of what the pattern is like. So I want to cast on those relatively soon. So that's all I went looking for. And other than that, I just picked up some yarns. This next one is 100% merino. And I think these are 200 gram skeins. No, they're 50 gram skeins. Hello. And again, this isn't, I might insert some pictures here because it's not, for whatever reason, the camera is not picking up the pinks and purples over here at all. And of course there's puppy hair on it. So I picked that up. I picked up this super sparkle yarn from Blue Moon. And you can see it has a ton of sparkle in it. It has blues and greenish yellows and a lot of gray. And the next one here, this was a New York City dyer. It's called Nooch Fiber, and she has these cute tags. And this is the Midtown sock, which is 75/25 merino nylon, and it's in a really nice, let's see if we can get the camera to, there we go. It's in a really nice charcoal color. And so what I did when I was at the store actually is the store was kind of overwhelming because there was so much yarn. So I would, you know, get up and look around and maybe pick a couple of things out, and then I would sit down and knit for an hour. And actually the table I was at, everybody was doing like hand spinning, which was really neat because I've never seen people do that up close. I mean, the girl next to me was sharing with me all about it, and it was actually, she was doing like drop spinning, and she was really good at it, so it was cool to watch. But then, you know, once I got tired knitting, I'd get up and walk around the store and look at everything. So, and then I picked up 2 Malabrigos. This one is already gonna have a home. Let's see. Oh my goodness, there's so much puppy hair in my house. There we go. So it's blues and greens, some purples, really a ton of different colors in there. It's more purple than it's showing up on camera. And so this is going to be, one of my best girlfriends lives in Chicago, and she's a runner. And I am going to make her a 2x2 ribbed hat for running in the winter. And then the other one, and these are the Malabrigo Rios. And it is, it's all superwash merino. They are 100 gram skeins. And so here is the other one. And this one is yellows and reds and just a million different dark colors in there. And the last one, I love this. This is Malabrigo again, and it is, I don't know how to say it, Machida. And this is just the most awesome speckled red and gold yarn. So yes, so that was a really fun trip. Pearl is the store owner. She was really nice. Everybody there was very welcoming. I would definitely go down there and just sit and knit again. And I really feel like I have a lot of stash now, whereas I had just gotten into the luxury yarns not too long ago, but I have plenty to knit on for the next 2 years. So I think when I start visiting some of these places, I might pick up 1 or 2 things, but really just sit and knit and get to know people and share about knitting and things like that. So what else? Okay, I received a package. I think I may have done a quick video on it, or maybe I just posted it on Instagram. My girlfriend Bernadette in Portugal sent me a package with all kinds of stuff in it, but it came with this fabric. So I made myself this project bag. It's a small bag and it just has black and white polka dot bottom. And I made this little stitch marker out of polymer clay. And I do have several of those in my Etsy store, which is Fiber Me This on Etsy. And I made some colored ones. Well, I have some like graphite gray sheep, and I also made some purpley pink sheep. Mika. And I made a couple bags. They were in the shop. They aren't any longer because they were purchased from outside of my shop. But so I had to take them down. But I am going to make some more. And this one I am keeping. So I've been making, let's see if I can get that on there, some hand applique kind of mixed media patches, which has all different types of layers and textures in there. And I did some stamping. This one I am keeping because there was a coffee incident and I spilled coffee on it. And so I ran it through the wash. And so it washed really nice. But I don't feel like it's appropriate to sell it after that. So this one is going to be for me. But I really, really enjoy making these appliques. So I am going to do some more bags and put them in the shop. And if you're interested in things that are in my shop, when I put new things in my shop, I post them on Instagram. So again, if you want to follow me there. I think that's it. Let me just check my little list here. Yes, that's it. My thumb has not been happy. I have like really loose and weak ligaments and muscles in both of my thumbs, and so going hardcore on the Valentine's Day socks did not help. I really am finding that I can't do that. I can't monogamously knit with the same size needles. I need to bounce back and forth. And I definitely learned that for sure on that project. So as much as I want to finish something like that, I think I need to make sure that, like, I should have been going back and forth between the scarf, which is a much bigger needle than the socks. And also just taking a break when it really starts hurting, because then what happens is I have to take a couple days off, and I don't like that at all. What else is going on? I think that's it for knitting. Again, we live in the Northeast, so February just needs to not be a month. We just need to skip it. Even though it's a short month, it's those of us who live up here get cabin fever. Today is a nice day, huh? Anya says it's the worst month. It is just, so we're gonna make it through though, and it is beautiful out today. As far as like the snow, we have quite a bit of snow because we got a big storm last weekend, and it's more snow than we've seen in a long, long time, in a couple of years, I think. So the snow is melting, and we're gonna go out and hit Starbucks this afternoon just to get out of the house. It's Sunday afternoon, but yeah, we have to get out. So I think that's all. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and I'll be sharing with you guys again soon. Bye-bye.